All right, so I got cut off in the last video, but we're going to finish this problem. So the negative sign is telling you which direction this force, this vector is going to point. Because positive is to the left, negative is to the right. So because this is a negative sign, that means this vector is going to point to the right, and it's going to have a magnitude of 2 newtons. All right, now we have one more problem to do. All right, so let's draw this box with 20 newtons this way, 20 newtons this way, 10 newtons this way, 10 newtons this way, 2 newtons this way, and 1 newton this way. All right. Now that's a lot of numbers. I don't know about you, but that's a lot for me. So it seems like a very complicating and confusing problem initially. But remember the principles of unbalanced force and balanced force, okay? If your force is balanced and in equilibrium, right? If your forces are in equilibrium, that means they're equal and opposite with each other, and the net force is 0. So for all the equilibrium pairs, right? Equilibrium, we can cancel them out, all right? Now we have 20 newtons of force over here and 20 newtons of force up here. These are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So they're in equilibrium. So we could cross those out. Now, let's look at the 10 newtons. Both of these are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So we could cross those out. So equilibrium forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. All right. Equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Now we have an unbalanced force, right? Unbalanced. All right. So we have 1 newton and 2 newtons. First step is to find which direction is negative and which is positive. So we'll go back to what we did initially. We'll say positive is to the right. Okay? So if we label this positive being to the right, then that means this 2n, because it's going to the right, is positive. And we're going to add 1 newton, which is going to the left, which means it's going to be negative with respect to our coordinate axis. All right? So once we add these together, positive 2n plus negative 1n equals a positive 1n. Now again, the positive doesn't mean that the number is greater or smaller than this force. In fact, it's actually equal in magnitude. So these forces are the same. They just point in opposite directions. So the net force on the object will be 1 newton going to the right because the force is positive. All right? So nice job. Thanks for working, and we'll be back at it in another video.